So, look, I'm so glad to speak to both of you. And Rich, you served in the U.S. Navy. I know your service dog Sapphire was your savior and so important in your life. She's here. You wanted to bring her.
I had to bring her. Yeah, it's my baby right there. That's all I have left of her.
And when George Santos, who at the time, I guess you knew him as Anthony DeVolder, when he was going to help you to save her, she was suffering from cancer at the time. What did he promise that he was going to do for Sapphire?
He was going to use his charity, his 501k, Friends of Pets United, to raise funds over GoFundMe. He said he was very respected. He was very he had his feelers out, and with his charity, it would help me very much to get the money in a sooner amount of time than later.
You were homeless at the time.
I was homeless at the time. I had broken an ankle really bad, couldn't work for a year and a half, so I couldn't pay my rent, and I was evicted. I was living in a tent on the side of Route 9 in Howell, New Jersey, with my dog, and she had already had that growth growing. It was getting bigger and bigger by the minute, it seemed. I finally decided to take her to the vet to see what they could do to have it removed, and they gave me a $3,000 quote. I was homeless. I didn't have any means to pay for that at all. So one of the vet techs in the place said, "Hey, I know this guy. He runs a charity, and he saves a lot of animals." And she was like, "You want me to hook you up with him?" So she took pictures of me and Sapphire. She sent them to Anthony DeVolder, and the GoFundMe started. It was up and running. I put it on my Facebook page. My friends and family donated to it. They shared it. I had a lot of my Navy buddies that I hadn't heard from in years actually gave me hundreds towards it. There were some other donors that I didn't ever recognize their names or anything. They might have been through his organization. They might have been friends of friends for all I know. So we raised $3,000 in 2 months, maybe 3 months. It was 6 years ago. And as soon as the money came through, I was like, great.
You could save your dog.
We can get her right in and get this done. Mr. DeVolder Santos decided that he did not want me to use my local vet. He wanted me to use his vets in Long Island or Queens. I don't remember which borough or town it was in. And that was the only way he was going to let it happen. So we took the dog to the vet. And the vet said, "Well, we believe this is too vascular, it's inoperable, but we'd like to go and have her have an ultrasound so we can see if we can do anything with it." I don't drive. I was homeless, and I paid a ride. I paid a friend to bring me up there.
To his vet.
To his vet. I paid the tolls, the gas, lunches, and DeVolder was supposed to pay me back for that. I even was dumb enough to give him my bank account and my routing number because he said he was going to put the money right into my account. Never happened. That was when I started smelling something fishy.
And so at this point, Michael, you get involved to try to help him get the money.
Absolutely.
And so you had conversations with Santos. Again, at this time, you knew him as Anthony DeVolder.
Yes, I knew him as
Anthony.
Anthony.
What were those like?
My goal was just to speak to another charity. The last thing crossed my mind was that it was going to be a problem. It's the first time.
Right, so you weren't like, this is fraud at the time.
Actually
You're thinking, I'm
Rich
just going to solve this and get him his money.
I called up Rich and said to him, listen, this shouldn't be a problem. It's probably a misunderstanding at best. Relax. Let me just speak to him and we'll work it out. And when I called him, my intentions were just to settle this really quickly and move on. But the problem is that when I spoke to him on the phone, he was not listening to what I was saying. He already made up his mind. I said to him, can you please give the money back to the people? Or there's a veterinarian in Rich's area that we can give the money to and put it into like a fund where he could use it from time to time. It's not your money to keep. And he just wasn't hearing it. I called Rich back horrified. I was really upset because this is Rich's lifeline. I work with veterans every day, and dogs save people's lives, and he needed this dog every day to be in his life. And I felt horrible to tell him that I failed him because of feeling that Mr. Holder at the time was going to do the right thing, and he did not.
And you never got $1 of the money?
Never got anything.
And obviously she died.
She died about 4 months after this all went down. There was a string of texts between me and DeVolder. I talked to him one time on the phone, And in one of the texts, I was so upset about that. I knew I wasn't going to get the money at that point. I knew there was something going on. I was like, I know that you mind my dog and my friends and family's hearts to raise money for yourself. And he told me that was the most offensive, horrible thing anybody had ever said to him. And that, I think, was the breaking point where he decided he was not going to give me the money, or where he could actually break away from me. He knew I wasn't going to call him back anymore. He was off the hook. He wanted to create a problem, a wedge between us.
And that was it.
That was it.
So can I ask you now, this happens and your life, that was your lifeline. She is
That
gone.
dog saved my life at least 2 times. When I first got out of the service, I was depressed. I was having nightmares. Bad memories about some things that happened, not war-related, but other things that the military does to you. I started drinking too much. I was doing reckless stuff. My father even told me he thought I had a death wish at that point. And I probably did. I was very suicidal. I would start crying for no reason. And if I didn't have that little princess with me, I probably would have not been here to speak to you right now, at least 2 times. I would think about her, and I said, nobody else is going to be her daddy. That's my dog. And I'd go and I'd cuddle her, and I'd snuggle up with her, and all the bad stuff went away.
And at what point did you all realize that Anthony DeVolder is George Santos, an elected...
A week ago.
A week ago?
A week ago. I started seeing his face on
and to be clear, obviously
news.
you're not following politics, you're not, right? So it's just like you kind of stumbled across his face in a
Right,
news story.
right. I mean, I watch the news all the time. Kind of a hobby. I love my YouTube news. But I saw his face, and I knew I sort of recognized him a little bit because we had been Facebook friends while the campaign was going on. So I knew what he looked like, and I knew his voice, and that was the only thing I knew about him. And I saw him on TV, and I was like, I got a feeling in the pit of my stomach about this guy. Who is he, and why do I recognize him? And then that was in December, right around Christmas time. Just about a week ago, he was in the Capitol, and there was a bunch of reporters following him around, asking him questions. Like, that's about the only thing you see him, anymore. And one of them said, "What's your name today? Is it Anthony DeVolder or is it George Santos?"
So it's so you had the pit in your stomach in December, and then when that name was said,
correct,
a week ago,
right,
then you realized.
I was sick. Yeah, to see that somebody like that could do something that dastardly could raise to such high position, that shouldn't be right. That shouldn't happen. So
let me ask you each. Don Lemon reached out to Santos, to George Santos, and got him to respond to you. And he told me, he said I was fake, and it didn't. Yeah, I read that. Let me read it so if everyone can hear, and I want to give you each a chance to respond to it. He said, I have no clue what he's talking about. And the crazy part is that anyone that knows me knows I'd go to hell and back for a dog, and especially a veteran. So this is just more of the pile-on effect. I have dozens of people reaching out to me in support, sharing their stories about their dogs and cats that I helped save and rescue. What do you each say to that? Prove it. Show us. He should show us if he has all these people that reach out to him and that love what he does and stuff. It's not. No.
I'm coming here staking my name of our charity on this. I back Rich 100% on this. There's no doubt in my mind that this was done, and it's horrible that this veteran has to go through this. Veterans, we lose them 22 a day, and our charity does whatever we can to prevent that from happening and work with other people and really rely on other charities. When a charity does something like this, another one, it just causes more problems for us to get the mission of saving our veterans' lives, and it's disgusting, and it's unfortunate that this happens in 2023 still to this day. Well, I know it's hard for you to talk about this, and I appreciate you doing it. And, of course, Michael, you coming as well. I didn't want to have to go through any of this at all. Today has been just a whirlwind of people calling me and wanting to talk. And I'm a very private person. I have my dogs, and I really never have anybody over my house. And everyone should know you have 2 dogs now. 2 dogs now. And, of course, Sapphire with you, too. Yeah, she'll always be with me. All right. Well, thank you both so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. Thanks for letting us get this out there. Yeah.